Hello everybody, welcome along. Thank you for waiting for me. Sorry I'm late. I had a few technical issues on that one, so if you've hung on, thank you very much. Now today we're going to have a look at Scratch again, and we're going to be looking at building a fact file. So give me a hello if you can hear me, if you can see me. Just let me know it's working and then we'll get going. It's been a busy old day today. Lots of things going on. Okay, let's get going. Right, so going to look at building a fact file today. So I'm going to be using Scratch the Cat to act as my virtual assistant. So Scratch the Cat is going to be keeping my records for me, is going to be working hard for me. So I'm just going to move Scratch the Cat. And we're going to need some information today that we're going to use in our fact file. Now, if you are making this fact file and you're going to store it online, make sure the information you put in it isn't too personal. So I'm going to do this on an online video, so I'm going to make sure the information I put in is information that I'm not worried about giving away. So I wouldn't be giving any personal information like where I live away in my fact file today. So let's start by getting Scratch and let's make a list, shall we? So I'm going to make a list from the variables tab. So we're going to make a list and I'm just going to call it fact file. Okay. Now I want to make this an interactive program that anybody could load up and then they could make a fact file about themselves. So I'm going to need to get the add thing to fact file option and I'm going to get the ask block. So we're going to ask what fact would you like to add to the fact file? Question mark, the question. And then we're going to add the answer to the list called fact file. Now, when do I want it to do that? I would like it to do that when you click on Scratch. So that means you click on Scratch to add things to your fact file. So we're going to go to Control. I'm going to say, it's an event, sorry, when this sprite is clicked. Okay. Awesome. Right. Now, let's give this a test run, see if we're working. So, click on Scratch. What fact would you like to add to your fact file? I would like to add that, what shall I say? I am vegetarian. That's a fact about me. Full stop, click the tick, and it's added it to the fact file. Okay, let's see if I can add a second one. So, I like snowboarding. Okay, does it add a second one? Brilliant, it adds the second one in. Now I can stretch this out if I want to see the fact file. But what I might do is I might leave it visible and I might hide it. I'm not quite decided on that one yet. I've clicked again, let's add one more thing. I have run a marathon. Okay, brilliant. So I've now added 3 things to my fact file. So let's think about how I get that information back out. Do I just want him to read out all the information? Yeah, I think I do. I don't want to do it like Magic 8 Ball where it's random. I want him to read the facts in the list. So let's go back to Scratch and let's say when the green flag is clicked, you are going to say, where's, so it looks, isn't it? We're going to say, and we're going to say item number 1 on the list. So how do I do that? Item number 1 on fact file. Right, there are 3 items, but I could add more. There might be 4 or 5. So I want to make a bit of code that goes through all of the items on the list until there are no more items left. So there is a block here called length of fact file. So that will give me the number of how many items there are in the fact file. So at the moment the length is 3. But if I added another fact, like I have a pet dog, the length becomes 4. So what I can do is I can make a variable. So fact number, all capitals, fact number, awesome. Right, so fact number is going to be set to 1 when we start off, because I want to start off with the first fact if we've got one. And so we're going to get it to say factor number 1 first. Then I want it to increase the factor number by 1. So I want it to go up by 1. Right. So this is a bit complicated. So let's try and go through this. We start off with factor number 1. So we start off with fact number 1. So it reads out the first fact on the fact file. Then it changes it to factor number 2. Let me click go and I can show you that happening. So you click go, and I've hidden it. It's hidden away. Okay, so that's a problem. My list's in the way. So maybe I do want to hide my list. Right, click go. I am vegetarian. So it reads fact number 1 and then it changes factor number to number 2. So if I clicked again, it goes back to number 1 and then changes to number 2. So I've got that reset to number 1. So I want it to go to number 2 and then I want it to speak again. So I think I can use a loop to keep looping the say and then change the number. Say and then change the number. So I'll do fact number 1, it'll say it, and it'll change to number 2, and then it'll say fact number 2, and it'll change to number 3, and it'll say fact number 3, and then it'll change to number 4. Let me see if that works. Repeat is what I want. So I want the saying and then change number. And I want to repeat it however many facts there are, however long my fact file is. So I think it should do it 4 times now because I've got a length of 4 in my fact file. Let's give it a go. So first fact, I'm vegetarian. Second fact, I like snowboarding. Third fact, I've run a marathon. Fourth fact, I have a pet dog. Brilliant. That seems to have worked so far. It has gone to fact number 5. There isn't one. And so it hasn't said anything. Wonder why it's gone too far. I wonder if I start at fact number 0, will that make it work? Let's try it. So fact number 0 doesn't exist, and then it does fact number 1. Yeah, we could run it like that. We could run it like that. That works out well enough. It's not a problem. Okay, let's add in another fact and see if it then adds the 5th fact in when we click it. So, I am a teacher. Okay, enter that. Right, now I'm going to click go and get my fact file to run. I'm vegetarian. I like snowboarding. I've run a marathon. I have a pet dog. And will it do the 5th one? No. Interesting. The length is 5, but it didn't do the 5th one. So let's switch this back to 1 and run it again. So it starts with the first fact. Like snowboarding. Run a marathon. I have a pet dog. I'm a teacher. Brilliant. Now, that's pretty good. I think that works really well. But what about if I want to refresh and start the list again and do a different fact file? I want a button. I want a reset button. So I'm going to get a sprite. I'm going to use my favourite sprite, the ball sprite. Actually, I'm going to use a button sprite. We've got button sprites. Let's use them. So this is the reset button. Now I need to make sure everyone knows it's a reset button. So I'm going to go to costumes. And I'm going to put reset on it. I'm going to get the text box and write reset. Not in purple though. I want it in a colour that I can see nice and bright against the background. Is black good? Yeah, black's a good colour for standing out on the green. This is the reset. Okay. Now let's put some code on that makes sure that when I click it, we reset. So it's an event when this sprite is clicked. I want you to go to the list. I want you to clear the list. Now, is there a clear the list option? Delete all of factfile. Yes. Okay. Factfile empty. Brilliant. So what you could do, now I don't think I'm going to need this fact number anymore, so I can hide that. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide my fact file as well, so I'm not going to be able to see the fact file while I'm making it. So click on Scratch, and I can now make a brand new fact file. So let's do this. I was thinking then when you did it, what you could do is you could like give some clues towards something. So you could say the first clue might be something like I have a mouth. And I could add another clue that says I have no teeth. And I could add another clue that says I am wet. And I could add another clue that says I can be very long. What else could we do? Oh, you will find me in the mountains and by the sea. And so you could do a little bit of a riddle, and then when someone comes along, you could get the Scratch the Cat to do the riddle. No, did it miss one out? Did I not add one of my things properly? I seem to only have 3 items in my list. What's gone wrong there? Oh, exciting. What's gone wrong? I've only got 3. Let's try adding the next 2 in. So I had... did I click the reset button by accident? Let's try again. Okay. I have a mouth. That's worked. I have no teeth. I am wet. I can be very long. And finally, you can find me in the mountains and the sea. Or by the sea and by the sea. Okay, don't click the reset button, click the go button. I have a mouth, I have no teeth, I am wet, I can be very long, you can find me in the mountains. Okay, that worked much better that time. I think I accidentally clicked the reset button. So let's move the reset button so I'm less tempted to press it. Let's change the colour of the reset button because I think green is a bit too like press me. So let's go to the costumes. Let's see, can I be clever about this and do it with code rather than get stuck into the costumes? Can I change the colour value? If I change colour effect by, I can make it red. There you go. There's a red button. So let's do another button then. Let's do a green button this time for go. Right. So this is my go button. Right, so instead of having the green button so it makes him give the information, we're going to have the go button give the information. So we're going to go back to scratch the cat. No, I'm going to go to go, and I'm going to say when this sprite's clicked, then broadcast a message. So broadcast, and we'll make a new message called go, like so. And then when Scratch hears go, you can start listing the facts. Awesome. Right. So let's reset the fact file. Right, there's one more thing I think before I give it a final test run. I think I've got to add a little thing on the background to just say click on Scratch to add facts, just so people know what to do. Let's go backdrops, click on Scratch to add facts. I put scratch the cat so everyone knows. Okay, cool. Happy with that. I think I'm ready to give it its first trial run. So, here we go. So, we'll reset. We're going to click on Scratch to add our first fact. So our first fact is, now I've got to think of a good little riddle for you to come up with. Let's do an animal. Let's see if I can do an animal riddle. So let's try and describe an animal and see if you can guess what it is. So I can be found in China. That's my first clue. So it's that animal that's found in China. And then, did that work? No, it didn't, because I clicked reset and then I click go. Okay, let's stop everything. Let's reset. You're red. You should be red. What's going wrong? Okay, that's my code didn't work very well. Let's do it properly then. Let's go reset this and let's change it to red ourselves. Can I do this quickly? Yes, I can. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's go. Stop. Start the screen. Right. Reset. Click on Scratch. Let's go. I can be found in China. Okay. Fact number 1 works. Let's like fact number 2. I eat bamboo leaves. My second clue. Let's add a third one. I am a type of bear. Let's think of another clue. I have a famous film about Kung Fu. Yeah. One more clue. Let's have a think about it. What clues have I got so far? Found in China. Beat bamboo leaves. Type of bear. Famous film about Kung Fu. Oh, I know the clue I need. I'm black and white. Okay, so here are my clues. I can be found in China. I eat bamboo leaves. I'm a type of bear. I have a famous film about Kung Fu. I'm black and white. Perfect. Now I'm not going to tell you the answer. I'm going to see if you can guess it. But if you have a go at this and you want to submit it on the VLE, I'd love to see this as well. So make your own fact files. Again, remember guys, keep your information safe. So if it's personal information, I don't want to see it on here. Just make sure you have a bit of fun with this. And if you think, oh, that's a really cool bit of code, but I could do something a bit different with it, I'd like to see that too. I hope you're all alright, guys. And I hope to see you all again soon. And look after yourselves. Bye for now.